Hello and welcome to project number 8. We are so close, and when I say so close, we are past the halfway point. So today's is hopefully very simple. It is a vest. Can't really get much simpler than a little vest. So this is the one we are doing. It is Simplicity 4079 and we are doing view A, the simplest of them all. I think a little vest can snazz up any outfit, especially when you make it out of velvet. I cannot resist velvet. I just love it. I think it's the way it feels. It's something about it. So yeah, I have two choices. I don't think it comes up very well on this camera, but a little bit. This is a beautiful like foresty green, which is nice and festive, and I love green, or just a deep black. And I love the depth of color that you get from velvet. Like this is black. So I have to choose between one, and I'm like, ooh, green is nice and festive, but the black is probably more versatile and I can wear it with more different outfits. So I'm leaning towards the black because I do love a vest and I want to be able to wear it a lot. And then for lining, I can either go boring black or cream stars. So if it's black on the outside and less festive, maybe I add the stars as a lining to make it festive on the inside. Hello. Everything is cut out and the lining is also cut out on the undersides. Now it's pretty much a matter of putting two shells together, so the velvet and then the lining separately, and then attaching them. Prepare the waist tabs now before I can put them into the back, which is next to be sewn up. Fun thing about working with velvet, all the fluff from just turning this piece inside out. This is gonna leave a mess. But now we need to sew our back pieces so we can sew our ties to the side. Got my tabs pinned. Now I've just got to baste them in place so they stay until I attach my side back piece, and it'll be inside the seam allowance. Alright, so front piece, back piece, complete with ties. And the other ones there, it's really hard to see black on black on black, especially black velvet. Anyway, now I just need to put the fronts on the back at the shoulders, but not the sides until I have the lining. And then once that is in, I repeat everything again, minus these, with the lining pieces. don't normally use many pins when I sew, but on these projects, what with matching patterns and all the curves, I'm using so many more pins than I normally do. Normally it's a wing it type of thing, and if it lines up, woo! Ugh, not with curves. Curves are a little tricky. The instructions do say after you've interfaced this to turn in and iron the unnotched edge by 6mm, but because this is velvet, that's not going to work incredibly well, so I'm going to stitch that down, because that's just to finish it for when it's on the inside, so having it stitched will help it stay anyway. So. Alright, my facing pieces are on my lining, they are attached. Now it's time to attach it, both the shells together, not doing the side seams. I've now got all my edges, apart from my side seams, sewn. Now it is time to turn it all inside out and hope it worked. Are you gonna help me? Thank you. So now I've got to put my side seams together, which is done by machine sewing the velvet, so the outer layer gets machine sewn, but then the lining layer gets slip stitched over the top of that, so you've got a nice clean finish on the inside. So let's just quickly machine stitch these so that I can then relax with some hand sewing. The base vest is complete. All it needs now is its buttons and a really good pressing, of course, but I don't have one of those fancy velvet press boards, so I'm sorry, Nana. I know you tell me I need to press everything, but I can't. It'll just ruin it. But I can put buttons in it. I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of trying to mark on velvet, but chalk does not like to stay on the pile, so I've just marking my buttonholes, and I've just done it with thread at each end, like start and end point. I don't know if this is actually a good way to do it, because you know, buttonhole stitches are quite tight and these little bits might get stuck in all that stitching and just be a pain in the butt to remove at the end of this, but I couldn't figure out how to get the chalk to stay, so this is how we're doing it. These are really not my best buttonholes. By the time I got to this one, it was alright. This was the last one. I started at the bottom. This one was probably my worst. You really can't see. That is the good thing about showing this on black velvet. While it's hard for me to see what I'm doing, so they turned out quite dodgy, it's also really hard to see how bad they are. So as long as they're functional, I don't mind what they look like. So that is the vest complete. I think it is stunning. I love how it turned out and the way it fits. I think it's beautiful and it has the fun little lining with stars. So I am very happy with this vest and I think it will become quite the staple piece in my wardrobe because a vest just finishes an outfit. It took me 4.5 hours, so not as quick as I would have liked. I was hoping for about the 3-hour mark, but velvet is hard to work with and that's on me. Can't help it, I just love velvet. But yeah, I think it was worth the 4.5 hours. Also, do you have any tips for working with velvet? Because judging by the way the velvet is building up in my stash, I will be working with it a lot coming up. I just love it so much. I need to learn how to work with it. Any tips, leave them in the comments below and I am very grateful for them all. So thank you and I will catch you in the next video.